I'm going on my first ever Carnival cruise, and I'm ready to find out if the rumors are true. The closest airport is Orlando International Airport to Port Carnival, which is where Carnival goes out of, Royal Caribbean. A lot of cruise lines in Orlando and in Florida go out of here. It was about a 45-minute drive from the airport, so not too bad. I just took an Uber, and it was a really pretty drive because we were passing all the gorgeous palm trees. So we finally get there and we have to wait in this fat line. I was so dreading this, but it actually went by so fast. It only took like 10 minutes. And then after that, you go straight to your muster drill, which I heard takes so long and it's horrible. But literally, they just updated it and it only took like literally 5 seconds. The guy just took us and said like, come to this spot if there's an emergency. So we did. So after that, we got to explore the ship a little bit, and it is so bright and colorful. I loved how colorful it was. There was art everywhere, and the main deck was already popping, even though we were like some of the earliest checked-in people, which made me really nervous. I was like, oh, this is going to be a very packed cruise. And then also immediately we went to go get food. Me and all the big backs, we were up in there because we were ready to take advantage of the buffet. And also, I had heard so many mixed reviews about the buffet, so I was ready to find out if it's actually good or not, because I've heard so many people say that it isn't good at all. So I wanted to test it out for myself. There was such a big array of fruit, which I really appreciate, especially on a tropical vacation. I had the biggest plate of food. I took all my stuff and got my food, and then I immediately tried to lay out, even though it was crazy windy. So I would try to not let that affect my opinion about this cruise, because I was really sad that it was low-key windy and cold the first couple days. Also, this was my view from like the very top. It wasn't amazing, I will say. You could see like a bunch of rusty like bench stuff, but I mean, can't really complain too much. And then I got this plate of the most random stuff. I was just grabbing food because I was so hungry, like ready to get on that cruise that day. And look at all that fruit. And then I walked it off because I wanted to explore more of the ship, and also the more I walked, the more I could fit in my stomach by telling myself that I had room for more. So this is the upper deck. It has pickleball, it has ping pong, it has all the slides like right across from here. And I was really excited for this also because mini golf was up like in that little secondary place. And I went downstairs to just check out a little bit more. Here is the overview of the slides. I'm not planning on using any of the slides. I'm kind of a germ freak, so that really grosses me out. But they were pretty cool to look at. More fun things to do. Here is the shuffleboard court that is also at the top of the ship. And then more food, just showing you guys every single way you can access the buffet, because that was the most important thing to me. And seriously, you cannot run out of things to do on this ship, which is the best part, because if you're trapped on like a floating boat and there's nothing to do, that is so boring. So I'm just heading to my room finally, because it was time for check-in after eating and after exploring. And I just couldn't wait to see the room itself. I mean, everyone knows like cruise rooms are like not huge, but we did get one with a window. So I was really excited to like see the ocean outside, especially while we're sailing. So I was excited to see it. And it was actually bigger than I thought it was gonna be. So it was surprising. And I feel like there was enough space for our stuff, which was amazing. I finally got to set my bag down, which was one of the highlights of my day, because that thing was heavy. It had everything that I needed and everything for vacation. The view was a little boring right now. And also, what's with that incredibly dirty window? That was depressing because it actually ruined like the whole views the whole time. Now it's time to unpack and hang up all of my dresses. As I said before, I was actually very surprised with how much room there was for clothes. And I knew I wanted to hang up my dresses before they got even more wrinkly. And usually I'm so lazy about that stuff, and I'll just shove them in my drawer, or I'll just leave them in my carry-on or like in my bag the whole trip and just pull them out when I need them. But I was trying to be a little more diligent this trip. After packing everything up, I went up all of the stairs. If you've been on a cruise, you know the stairs are never ending, and you can obviously take the elevator, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually love stairs, so it is literally something that I enjoyed doing every single day, even if I was out of breath after walking up all of the stairs, because this ship is huge. So here is another view from the top. This is where you enter the slides. And then I went to check out the Serenity adults only pool place, and it looked really cool. And then of course I made my way to the buffet so I could eat some more. I wasn't that impressed with this meal, honestly. My first day of eating was not great. I feel like I just didn't know exactly what I was supposed to get, or maybe I didn't try enough. But there were just some things that I really didn't like. Like that roast beef on my plate was super cold and dry, and I was not expecting that. But then I got some shrimp and some veggies that were on that plate, and some rice, and that was really good. But the roast beef kind of threw me off. And then I had something else on the plate that just wasn't good. So I was a little nervous about dinner, but I showered, got all ready for dinner because I had a nice long day. And then I decided to go to dinner, and it was at this golden restaurant. It looked really cool inside. I was definitely a fan, and they seated us probably after 20 or 30 minutes. So we didn't have to wait too long, but we did go to dinner earlier every other night because they seated us a lot quicker. And I like eating really early, so yeah. And we were supposed to dress kind of fancy, but some nights I just wore my sweatsuits because I was so cold in the dining hall, and nobody cared, so it was okay. And they had gift shops everywhere, of course, because they just want to get you to buy stuff, which I didn't buy anything in the gift shops. I did buy something when we got to the island, or one of the places in the Bahamas in Nassau, because I did want a souvenir from this trip. But they did have so many options of things to buy, all of these shirts, and then all of these stuffed animals that were actually really, really cute. I obviously didn't buy one because I already have too many stuffed animals and I need to not. And they had this so cute, literally this one was my favorite, this little pineapple. And I know this doesn't completely have to do with a review of the ship or everything, but why was that pineapple so cute? And then of course they have swimsuits, cover-ups, literally everything, anything that they can get you to buy, they had. By the way, this is everything that I'm doing while I'm waiting for dinner, so that's why I didn't show you guys what I ate for dinner yet. But let's just take a moment to appreciate this really beautiful performance that they had right outside the dinner hall. Okay, after being properly entertained, it was finally dinner time. Even though I said I wasn't super impressed with the first couple meals of the day, I still am down to eat, and it was the fancy restaurant, so I was like, surely it has to be the best food possible in here. So I was really looking forward to it. I was also ready to figure out if the rumors are true because I've heard bad things about Carnival food. So my expectations were kind of low. This roll was delicious, and that was the best way to start the meal. I am obsessed with rolls, so I love a good roll. Every night at dinner, I discovered they have performances, which I had no idea about, and it was fun, but at the same time, I was like, wait, please serve me my food. So I was kind of torn whether I liked it or not, but it was super fun, and they were pretty quick about it. So, I have to say I enjoyed it. They know how to put on a show, for sure. I got this tomato basil soup as my appetizer, and then as my main dish, I got this 12-hour braised lamb over mashed potatoes and green beans. It was not my favorite. I'm not a fan of most of those things, but the menu just wasn't looking great that night. The rest of the nights, I honestly enjoyed way more. And then I got this no sugar added cake, but it was literally delicious, and I was so surprised by that because it was no sugar added, but it was literally amazing. My favorite bite of the day. And then I had some good luck. It was this, I found one of the little Jesuses, so I'm pretty sure that was good luck. and I took that and went around the ship just to circle back and find more food because I was still hungry because I wasn't satisfied from the dinner. And I think it's because I didn't love the dinner, so that's why I wasn't satisfied. So I got a few things for my second dinner. And once again, I just was not impressed with it very much. So I was like feeling very negative and like, wow, all the rumors are true. Carnival food is not very good. And then I went to the sauna to burn off all the calories. I have the entire sauna to myself. And it's huge. The sauna is, of course, attached to this amazing gym that was not busy the whole time I was there. So basically all of the equipment was open at all times. So if you're wondering about the gym, which I was, and I couldn't find many videos about it when I was looking up a Carnival cruise online because I wanted to see everything. So if you're thinking about the gym, absolutely, this is an amazing gym, and I was very, very impressed. I finished off the night with a quick treadmill walk. Let me tell you, if you are going on a cruise, prepare to walk. I really didn't even need to do this treadmill walk because of walking around the boat all day exploring and finding more food. But I just needed to help my digestive system after all of that. And look, I also got 35 hills, and that is from climbing up the stairs. So I think I had a pretty successful workout day and also a pretty successful stuffing my face day. And then to end the night, we went to this comedy club and it was so much fun. The comedian was hilarious. We ended up trying out another comedian the next day and he was absolutely awful. So we just started going back to the first one every night and he was funny and he did great every single time. Okay, here's my breakfast. This is when Carnival redeemed itself. Breakfast was literally amazing and I looked forward to it every single day. Every single day, breakfast was a 10 out of 10. After breakfast, I found myself back in the sauna. Once again, it was just me in this huge sauna alone, but this time I had the most amazing view because I could see the ocean because it was daytime. And let me tell you, it was actually breathtaking. Now time for more fun. Even though it was kind of windy, we went up to play mini golf on the very, very top deck. And it was super fun. Once again, even though it was a little windy, it was still sunny. Every day, without fail, I came back to my room and I saw a cute little, I almost said stuffed animal, but a cute little towel animal. I loved seeing it every day. It honestly made my day. And then we finally got to Nassau, which is what I was the most excited for because obviously it's the Bahamas and I was ready to be on the beach and ready to be tanning. And the shops are just so cute here. Once again, as you can see, it is so packed. Being on a cruise, it is very much close quarters with people when you are in main areas. But once you actually disperse, the beach didn't feel too busy. We just had to walk a little bit farther, but I don't mind that at all. And it was really nice because then we actually got to explore more of the island. So I was fine with that. My final verdict for the Carnival Cruise Line is that yes, some of the things that are said are true that are negative, but the positives outweigh the negative on this trip for sure. What? And maybe Carnival cruises aren't for you, but also I think cruises just aren't for everyone. And this cruise line is not below any other cruise lines. I mean, maybe some that you pay a lot of money for, but for the money, this is 100% worth it. And seriously, the food was good. I mean, there was some food that was bad, but you can't expect it all to be exactly how you want it. The trips were fun where they took us. The service by the staff was amazing. And there was always something so fun to do. So I have to say that this Carnival cruise was a success. And I can say that my expectations were far exceeded. And not to believe every single rumor that you hear, because you just need to do the research yourself and see if it's something that you're going to enjoy. Here's more food that was literally delicious. This tiramisu was a 10 out of 10. Also, don't kill me, but I actually didn't love the molten lava cake, which is what everyone told me would be my favorite part about the Carnival cruise. Okay, bye.